Let's have a conversation. I was thinking about something as I listened to Michelle Obama's podcast. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to it, but I listened to week number 2. And in that podcast, she mentioned that she was suffering from a low grade depression. I've heard people talk about it, they've taken it out of context because what she was saying is that with everything that's going on in the world, with how number 45 is acting, how people are forgetting about equal rights, human rights, things of that nature that is causing her to feel somewhat depressed. I get that depression is real. I've experienced it once that I know of, and that's when my sister was dying from cancer. I didn't realize when I was in it that I was depressed, but I had an aunt that asked my mother, and I remember thinking to myself, is this what depression is? Because I didn't know. All I knew is that I lost like 25 pounds in a couple of months and I wasn't sleeping at night. But once I figured out what it was, then I knew how I could best handle it. But I would like to say that with everything that's going on in this world, with COVID-19, with Black Lives Matter movement, with the death of Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, it's a lot. It's a lot to carry in your heart. There's a such thing as compassion fatigue. And I'm actually doing some studying on that. But what it is when you care too much about people. So a lot of times nurses, physicians, medical professionals, caregivers, they all suffer from compassion fatigue. And one of the things that I do know, especially from the readings that I've seen, is a way to handle that is to figure out how you can bring more joy into your life. Figuring out what it is that you can control and do to bring some happiness to yourself. And so I will say this, in the beginning of this COVID-19, I was having a difficult time. Not because I was concerned about myself, because I trust that I will do what I need to do to try to stay as safe as possible, but because I thought about the kids who had to stay home with parents who were abusive, especially parents who didn't know how to cope or don't know how to cope, and that their thing to do is to drink. I thought about the wives who are abused by their spouses, about husbands who are abused by wives. I mean, I was really concerned because I did not know what was going to happen, nor could I control it. What I could do is pray, and I had to let myself be okay with the fact that I let that go. I had to let it go. Yes, I'm still concerned about the kids, even more now because here we are starting school again. That was an outlet for a lot of kids, and it's going to be online, at least in the start of the school year here in Cleveland. But I just want you all to know that it's okay to have compassion for one another. It's okay to care. It's okay to even feel depressed. But what I will say is that if you're feeling any of those things, make sure you take care of yourself first. Make sure you do the things that you need to do for self-care. Find what brings you joy. Meditate, exercise, see a therapist, whatever it is that you need, just do it. Unfortunately, this COVID-19 is not going away anytime soon. You know, I realized in the month of July, even though I've been on social media doing things, but after my grandmother's death, I was having a hard time. And I remember I just took some time to myself. I took a couple of weeks. I wasn't doing anything that required much thinking. I just took time for myself because I needed to get myself back together and know that it's okay that I want to grieve my grandmother, that I need to grieve my grandmother. And even in this COVID-19, grieving the normal that we once knew, because we know that it's not going to be the same. I miss my friends. I miss hanging out. I miss traveling. I miss my mother. Now I see my mother, but I have yet to really hug her, hold her, kiss her like we used to, right? I can't do any of that anymore. because I am, I'm making sure that I take care of her as best as I can. And just in case I have anything, I don't want to give it to her. But I just wanted to come on here because I do recognize that we all are going through some things right now. And I just want you to know that it's okay, that you are not alone, that we're all suffering through this COVID-19, trying to figure out when we're going to get out of this thing and how is it going to happen. So I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that this video helps you at least do some introspective work and look at yourself and figure out what you need to do, what you can do. Because there's a lot of things that we can't control, but there are things that we can. So the things that you can control, how can you use that to bring some joy into your life? All right. So that is it for today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And again, if you need to see somebody, be okay with that too. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.